A con man will come up to you and introduce himself. Be very kind, be very nice. Present to you a business plan that'll be real profitable. All you need to do is invest. Show you all sorts of official looking paperwork, maybe even give you a business card. At some point in time in the future, you may be an individual who lost their life savings because of a demon who presented himself as an angel of light, showing you a road to hell. But all you saw was the pavement of it, which was good intentions. When I returned to Colorado in 2004, Robert Clinch had called me up telling me he was ready to kill himself over his fiancée. Well, make a long story short, some guys that we knew as teenagers, we were all at the bar one night, and I was talking with them, and I found out two things. The first one was that Clinch had been telling everybody else that I had called him up begging for his help, saying that I was homeless and strung out on the streets of Detroit. And the second thing I found out is that not a single one of them believed he would ever kill himself. And that's when I realized he told me a story nobody else would believe, and told them a story he was sure they would believe. They say power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. When it comes to the type of technology I've been posting about for all these years, imagine for a second believing that you actually would have that type of absolute power over someone else. That they would be entirely helpless, hopeless, powerless, and defenseless towards any form of torture or stalking or experimentation they choose to do. Knowing that no one would believe you, and if they did, there was nothing they could do to help you. And the more you obey them as your master, the less likely they are to inflict pain with said technology. This is why I don't do shadow wars. Life is lived from the inside out. And the individuals doing this type of stuff to people live in the shadows, first and foremost, within themselves. Nobody's perfect. Not a single one of us. But these are levels and lines that have been crossed, that have caused me to comment quite often that for me the difference between Grin and Barrett and asylum refugee sanctuary is the fence-free concentration camp technology involved. Because that's basically what this technology comes down to. Instead of putting a tattoo on your arm, they put a microchip in your brain. And I never would have returned to Colorado if Robert Clinch hadn't set me up. But the main purpose of this video, which needed part of my testimony, part of my life story, was to try and give people who may have missed the whole point of some of the things I've posted, because I know I can swing back and forth between things at times, a more congruent perspective of how all the different things I've been saying tend to come together, and how they've come together in my life. Life is lived from the inside out. So raise your baseline and be a good shepherd. I have fewer hashtags to use on this post. May the blessings of the Lord be upon you in Jesus' name. I love you, human fam.